Wow, uh, people in Gaza are finding mass graves. Uh, a lot of them are around hospitals and other places where the IDF has occupied and committed large amounts of murders. Uh, it seems like they will bury tons of people in a mass grave to try to hide their crimes. How is this any different than when Nazi Germans, you know, buried people in mass graves after they, massacred a bunch of people? This is truly uh, disgusting what the Israeli government is doing. Uh, Lots of innocent people are being murdered and just buried while the Israeli government pretends that they've done nothing wrong and are the good guys when they're burying people in mass graves. It's just truly disgusting.
In a region ravaged by death comes a harrowing discovery. Gaza's Hamas-run Civil Emergency Service says 310 bodies have been found in a mass grave at Khan Yunis's Al-Nasser hospital. Two other graves had purportedly been identified but not yet excavated. Israel's Defense Force had withdrawn from Khan Yunis earlier this month. Since then, residents have been coming here to look for the bodies of their loved ones, hoping to bury them in permanent graves elsewhere.
I came here for a fifth day looking for my son, Jamal. They told us there's a mass grave here. Every day I've come to identify the body, but unfortunately I did not find it.
The UN Human Rights
This is this just means that the actual death toll is higher than what can actually be found. So many people have been buried in mass graves with no reports of them being buried. So it's not 34,000 innocents killed, but probably 60, 70, maybe even 100,000 innocent people killed. And the Israeli government is doing whatever they can to make it seem like it's lesser.
Office says it's trying to confirm reports from Palestinian officials that bodies were also recovered from Gaza City's Al-Shifa hospital site following an Israeli Special Forces operation. The office's commissioner horrified by the reports of destruction and death coming from both sites.
Victims had reportedly been buried deep in the ground and covered with waste. Among the deceased were allegedly older people, women, and wounded, while others were found tied with their hands. They were found with their hands tied and stripped of their clothes.
Israeli
Wow, so the IDF would tie people up after stripping them and then kill them, and they're supposed to be the good guy when they're like killing elderly people? Like, what is like some 80-year-old going to do against a 30-year-old armed IDF member? How can the Israeli government and any like defender of the Israeli government claim that the Israeli government is good when they're tying people up and then murdering them and then throwing them into a mass grave? This is what the Nazi German government did to people.
insists Palestinian claims that the IDF had buried bodies were baseless and unfounded. It says at Al-Nasser hospital, forces searching for Israeli hostages had examined bodies previously buried by Palestinians nearby that were returned to the ground following examination. The United States says it's also asking for more information.
We have seen those reports, and the reports are
Wow, the United States needs more evidence to prove that the Israeli government is mass murdering people. But when it comes to UNRWA, the moment the Israeli government says something, they stop funding. It definitely shows how the United States is extremely biased.
incredibly troubling, and we're inquiring on this with the government of Israel.
The UN Human Rights Office is calling for an